Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. So in today's episode, we're going to be installing new upper control arms from Kryptonite, as well as putting in some lower control arm bushings on my Chevy Silverado. So inside you can kind of already see I've done a little bit of work. Removed the tire, supported the truck with jack stands. I did knock loose the upper and lower control arm, and that's about as far as I've gotten. Let me show you the parts that we're actually going to place on the truck. So I have a energy suspension polyurethane bushing kit. I know in the previous episode I talked that I wasn't going to do the OEM rubber. I was going to stick with the polyurethane, even though I know it's going to make the ride just a little bit rougher. And I said I wanted to go soft as I could. So, but I only plan to do this once. We have some self-etching primer that we're going to use right after we wire wheel the side of the frame. And I have some POR 15 with the metal and degreaser, which I will go over the process of how to use that and let you guys see it. But here is our kit. These are the stage 2 Kryptonite upper control arms. These are the kit where you can have the dual shock hoops, so your dual shocks mount here. Fortunately I don't have those yet. Those will be coming in a later vlog, but they come with new upper ball joints and have lower ball joints for the control arm as well. So we'll install those, and they also come with a polyurethane bushing kit as well. So we're going to put all this on the truck, paint the frame, or at least the front half of the frame, and we're going to take it for a ride, and we'll see if it's harder or softer. I'll let you guys know, but our first step is we actually have to take this fender back off the truck. So remember, when you take this fender off, you have to slowly loosen all these bolts evenly because of that rubber grommet that's on the back of it. So let's go ahead and let's get that off. Alright guys, so here's a full out disclaimer. I'm about to wire wheel the crap out of this frame, and I might look like an idiot, but wire wheels are extremely dangerous. The little metal strings that are in this, they can come out, they can get in your eye, they can go into your skin, they can really hurt you. So I'm going to wear a full set of PPE. I got double eye protection, got my welding mask, I got a set of super thick stick welding gloves, and I'm actually still wearing my Carhartt underneath this. Now I have had one of these explode on me. I haven't had one this big explode on me, but I did have a Dremel one explode on me. And it got all of my clothes. I got very lucky that it didn't get in my eye, and I could never get the shards of metal out of my clothes, so I ended up having to throw them away. So please be extremely careful whenever it comes down to you using a wire brush. And make sure it's rated for whatever tool you're using it on. Now this is a 12,000 RPM tool, and this is a 12,500 rated wheel. So please, please, please make sure you're wearing your protection. If this is the only thing you ever take out of any video I ever make, please wear your protection when you're messing with one of these. Now, when you go to unload your torsion system, I don't have keys in mine. That's because I wanted to make it a softer ride. This is the actual torsion bar tool that you're actually going to need. There's a groove on the top, and there's a little groove right here that you're actually gonna put this tool in. Now, when you take this off, you need to have your vehicle supported. You don't need to have it supported underneath where the control arm is. You need to support it elsewhere, because you're actually going to take all the tension off of that control arm. So you cannot have it supported right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little tension on this. The reason why you want to do this is because you're actually going to remove this key that's right here that's moving around. So I'm actually just going to let it sit up against there. You want to apply enough tension to actually be able to slide the key completely out, which I almost have enough. Key comes out, now you need to relieve all the tension. You're going to want to do this kind of slow. You don't have to do it extremely fast. You just want to make sure it doesn't bind up. Mine doesn't feel like it's bound up. I'm actually going to leave a little pressure on it because I do have a jack underneath it currently. So let me go remove that and I'll be right back. Okay, so now my jack is fully released. I'm going to go ahead and just remove the tool altogether. And now you're actually going to push the torsion bar, which is right there at the tip of my finger in the control arm. You're actually going to push it out. I'm probably going to have to use a punch to push mine out, but let's get it out. Alright, I'm actually going to try and grab the bar, see if I can move it out of the arm, which, go freaking figure, I can't. Alright, so, yeah. Let's get something so I can actually hit it and get it out. Okay, so unfortunately I gave you guys some bad gouge. So, on my 2003, the key is bigger than this little hole. So I actually have to push my this torsion bar forward in order to get it to come down here, and then I can pull the bar out. So I'm gonna hit it with some PB Blaster real fast, then I'm gonna knock it forward because I can move this thing forward and aft. I just can't physically knock it out. So I'm gonna hit it with some PB Blaster, let it soak for a second, and then I'm gonna hit it and I'll get back with you when I get it out. Alright guys, so I've spent probably about 45 minutes messing with that, and literally nothing's changed. But what I know I can do, I know I can grab this bar and I can move it this way and that way. So I'm going to take the lazy man's way out, and I'm going to take these bolts out. Oop. Then I'm going to pull the control arm forward. And in theory, it should release. So either I'm gonna win or I'm gonna lose. One of the two. girl out. Oh. Now she is heavy. Man, is she heavy. Alright, so pretty much now that everything is removed, I might hit it with the wire wheel down in this area one more time. I know I didn't get it perfect, but it is what it is. So, nah, I'm just gonna paint it. Paint it, we'll call it good. It's actually not that bad. There's one or two places that's got some stuff. I'll have to get a brush and brush it, but other than that, let's go press these new bushings into this control line. Alright guys, so pretty much all I'm using here is just your basic ball joint press. I found a sleeve that would fit over the top half. And pretty much all I'm trying to do now is there's actually a metal sleeve in here. I'm just trying to just push the metal sleeve out. All I'm trying to do. Once you get that metal sleeve out, it'll be easier for you to get the rest of the bushing out. There. Actually, it looks like the rest of the bushing's coming with it. Just kind of go until it stops. Alright, she should be bottomed out now. See the bushing starting to come out. Yeah, so just gotta keep doing this until it comes out.
Brand new impact on this. I have to use a swivel or a universal, and I don't want to break my socket. Alright, she's completely out.
So this bushing was kind of bad on this side. It was really flat and really skinny. You can see how on this side there's not a whole lot of meat left. On this side there's a lot of meat left. Yeah. So I'm gonna figure out how to get this one out, and yeah, I'll get back with you. Alright everyone, so your first step in using POR 15 is you're going to use the degreaser. So you're going to mix, you can mix it up to 10 parts. I mix mine 4-to-1. Then you're going to rinse thoroughly with water after you're done. Now it says to knock off most of the rust that you can, which I did to an extent. You're also going to want some type of brush so you can actually scrub the frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cover this. I'm also gonna cover the spots around the top of the fender where I cut those holes in. And I'm also gonna cover the side. That way when I'm done, I can throw the fender liner back in and button this side up for the last time. So I'm gonna get to it. Alright, so now that you're degreased and you've let it sit for a little bit so it can work, now your next step is to actually rinse it off. Make sure you thoroughly rinse this. Now, make sure you don't forget to rinse your brushes. I'm going to rinse mine here in a second, because later on I'm going to do the rest of the frame. Might put that on video, might not. And it's going to take a while. Plus, it's kind of going to be a little boring to see the same thing going over and over and over again. So, we'll get back whenever this is dry. Once it's dry, we're actually going to use the metal prep. Alright guys, so this frame's probably 98% dry. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move on to the metal prep. I got a little bit left. It should be enough to do this side. Now I have to bust out the other kit to do the other side. Now with this, if you aren't using bare metal, you need to wait 30 minutes or spray it on there for 30 minutes. You have to keep it wet too. Keep it on there for 30 minutes, and it says if you have any type of bubbles, white bubbles, that you need to take a brush and you need to brush it, like scrub it, like we did whenever we degreased it. So I have bare metal, so it says to do it for 10 to 20 minutes. So it's currently 10 after midnight, and I'm gonna spray this on. I'll probably hit mine with a brush, and we'll see how long it takes us. Alright, so now that the frame is dry, we've used our degreaser, we've used our metal etch. Now technically per Pour 15's directions, you're ready to actually start applying it. However, I have this Rust-Oleum self-etching primer. Yeah, I know it's a little overkill. Had it left over from another project. I'm gonna go ahead and just spray it. It'll take 15 minutes for it to dry, and then we can actually start laying down the Pour 15, which I'm sure you guys all want to see. Now this is a moment everybody's been waiting for. Everybody's been waiting to see this Pour 15 actually go onto the frame. So the frame is completely dry now. All around the fender is completely dry. You definitely want to shake this stuff extremely well before you decide you're going to put it on. And you're also going to want to wear gloves because when you get this stuff on you, it does not come off, regardless of what it is that you use. So please heed that warning. So I'm gonna put my gloves on and pop this top and get a brush, and we'll start painting. Alright guys, so it's the next day. You can tell that the frame's got a nice smooth finish to it. Now, I'm not really a fan of this gloss, but it's what they had at the time. The Rust-Oleum paint that I have is a low gloss finish. So I also have to put one more coat of this Pour 15 on. So that's what I'm getting ready to do now. Now the wife and I, we're gonna go take a little trip to Duncan. So let's get to painting. Alright, so to get these polyurethane bushings in on this one, you just press them in. You shouldn't have to use any type of ball joint press. Fortunately, I had to use a ball joint press on the lower ones. That's the only way they would go in. But you just work them in, just like that. Same thing for the other side. You take the pin, push the pin through. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way. The pin may need some persuasion with a mallet, which I'm going to have to hit it with a mallet, unfortunately. So let me get it hit, and I'll show you guys the finished product. Well guys, as you can tell, I'm getting rained out. So hopefully I can get it fixed in time to go to work in it tomorrow. So we'll see. Everything's for the most part put back together. I got onesies and twosies, little things. Man, check that frame out. Yeah, I got a little spot here I gotta fix. But that's not a big deal. That's easy. Everything else though, super smooth. So I was probably gonna paint it one more time anyways, just to give it a little extra durability. So that's all right. Well, see you guys in the morning. So I pretty much have the whole entire truck finished on the front end. All I have left to do is install the rear Scholastic shackle mounts, as well as the new polyurethane bushings. So the whole front end is all sweetened back together. There's only one or two little things, like making a new bracket for this guy, the whole nine. Our CV angles are level, as you can see. And I'll show you that I have the torsion bolts 100% completely out of the truck, as there is no torsion bolt here, as you guys can see, and there's not one over there. So the truck rides so much smoother. The polyurethane mounts didn't really affect the ride of it. I was surprised. So we'll see what it affects whenever I get the rear done. So look forward to that in an upcoming video. So yeah, stay tuned.